Hello, welcome back to the Getting Shit Done podcast. Today we're joined by Daisy, who is a fantastic person to have on, runs 3 businesses. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Right, well, I'm Daisy Amodio, so I'm founder of The Proposers, which is a really unique marriage proposal planning company, and I was the first in the world to set such a company up, and now there's quite a lot. I have a second company called Daisy Amodio Events, which plans super high-end weddings and celebrations for celebrities to royals. And my third business, which is not quite a business, it launches in about 2 or 3 weeks, is the Romantic Event Academy. And we get so many people asking for a job. We can't give everybody a job, but it's such a nice thing that we do. It's like creating happiness. So we thought, well, let's create an online course. So it's not a lot of my time, but I've already filmed everything and they can do it online. So that launches soon.
Amazing. It's good to have you on. And I think that I'd love to kind of just understand a little bit more about the work that you do and the sort of people that you help and what sort of the services with the proposers, maybe to start.
Yeah. So originally, probably about 14 years ago, my brother came to me and he said, look, Daisy, I want to propose to my girlfriend, but I haven't got a clue how to do it. He didn't have a creative bone in his body, but they called him the Italian stallion, and he knew he had to come up with something romantic. So I did this amazing proposal for them around London. It was did a treasure hunt, and it was at sunset, and he proposed, and I thought, what a great job this would be. And I Googled proposal planning and nothing came up. I was like, surely I haven't just thought of a whole new industry. But in my heart of hearts, in my gut, like I knew weddings were getting more elaborate, and I knew people wanted more personalisation. So why wouldn't you want that for your proposal? So I did a questionnaire to 500 men, half of which knew me, and they said, why would you quit your good job to do something so unknown? And the other half were just like, why would you pay any money to propose? Like, you can just get down on one knee in your living room if you wanted to. But I just knew that it was going that way. And so it's been about 13, 14 years now. We've planned over 5,000 marriage proposals all around the globe, from £1,000 upwards of £1 million. We've never had a no. And we've got a team of 7 and an office at the Shard.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Like, when I watched the £1 million question, that was just, blew me away.
Yeah.
That one, someone would spend that much money, but 2, that, you know, you've sort of invented an industry and then sold £1 million proposal.
Yeah.
So how was it being the sort of first mover? How did you find that, almost saying this is a service and no one offers it, so we are the go-to already, and then getting that off the ground?
Well, what happened was, because no one was talking about proposal planning, the first time I ever put anything on Google, we came up number 1, page 1. Right? And we still maintain that, really. Now there's lots of other proposal planners kind of doing what we do, and that's just life. You're always going to have competition, but we still are on page 1, and it kind of fluctuates. And the only person that really spoke about proposals was ring companies, engagement ring companies. So that's how we already got there. Yeah. So what was
it was good actually seeing the business in action when I was doing the stuff with your team a couple of weeks ago. And it was good to see. It was just something I'd never kind of experienced. I've shot a lot of weddings in the past and things like that. So I've probably been to best part of 100 weddings now, and they seem to be getting more and more elaborate as well. So this kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Really, of why people do it. So.
And the thing is, it's such a nice, like, happy business to be in, because the person's just so in love that they want to go that extra step, that extra mile to like make sure that person's like really well loved, well thought of. And they always have videos and photos afterwards because they want to put it on Instagram, they want to put it on TikTok, they want to show all their family. And actually sometimes they show the proposal at their weddings. So it's really important to get it right. And there is a lot of pressure when you're proposing. You've seen it in the films. You know you've just got to say, will you marry me? But for some reason, everyone's completely terrified. So you know, like the guy or girl, they're so like nervous, and like how they're going to get out, how they're going to say it, like what's the reaction going to be? And it's that jeopardy, isn't it? Are they going to say yes or no? But and then the girl or guy, because look, 99% of our clients are men. So I don't want to say, but there is a few girls that propose, and I hope more and more girls do propose, because anyone should be able to propose. But it's predominantly guys. They're just so nervous. So yeah, and then the girl's reaction is always like, oh my God, like literally like black mascara running down their faces, so excited. Or you get the overwhelmed girl that's just like doesn't know what to say. She can't believe he's done all this for her. And it's just such a nice thing to watch.
That's the second one is what I had when I was
Really?
photographing. It was. She was obviously gonna say yes. There was no question about it. But it was kind of like she just flipped out. It was so funny to see.
Didn't know what she was going to say.
Yeah.
She didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then it's they turn to me and I'm taking loads of photos and they're like, no, and I kind of know what's going on. But no, it's good
fun to see. Like, we've been listening up at doors or looking through the key lock or like wherever we can to watch it, because it's such a nice moment. And even if we do, like, some people want their proposal in public, so say it's a flash mob or there's like a band playing in a park or there's a treasure hunt. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, when you get down on one knee and there's members of the public around you, they want to stand and watch and clap and cheer, because it's such a it's just such a nice moment to watch and it makes people happy.
Yeah, I like what you said earlier about like creating happiness. So in terms of like being part of, probably for like a lot of people, the most nerve-wracking part of getting married, I think when it comes to the wedding, men are probably a little bit more relaxed than they are when they're going to propose. How do you take someone through that journey from like initial sort of having a chat with them to, I saw the flash mobs, I've seen a few, and that's a big thing to pull off. How do you take them from initial to that sort of final event?
Yeah. So we have two types of clients. So one client, they'll see a picture and they'll want exactly that in that colour and nothing else. So we now call them packages. I don't like to say it's a package, but it is, because they want the same suppliers and the same venue and the look and feel. And then the other type of guys come in and they want something completely bespoke, something that's never been done before, and that's why they're coming to us. So we delve into their relationship and we ask questions that probably haven't been asked before, like, why do you love each other? Where was your first kiss? What's your favourite colour, band, flowers? Do you have any pets? Like, what's important to you? What's your milestones? Like, really delve into their relationship, because what I learned very early on is every relationship is completely different. And where you might think some of our proposals are absolutely bonkers, like we've literally planted drugs on people, not real drugs, oregano, and got her fake arrested, that to me is bonkers.
Yeah.
I would want the petals at the Shard with an amazing violinist and stuff, but everyone is different, and who are we to judge? So we find out really about them, and then we create ideas that hopefully have never been seen before and really personalised to them, and we'll present it to them, and they always want every single idea that there is and try and combine it for the same budget. We've never had someone that say, oh, I don't want to go with you now you come back with the ideas. They always love the ideas. And we only come up with the ideas based on their relationship, right? We're not just finding something on Google. Doesn't exist. So they still have to kind of think outside the box, like, this is how it's going to look on the day. Because it's not like a wedding. You don't go and really see the venue. It's not the first place. You don't go there. So then that's it then, really. And then we send them a bill, tell them how much it's going to be line by line. And then we send them a plan that the week before, which no one ever really reads. But it's basically a minute-by-minute timing plan, like an X marks the spot. You stand here. This will get the best light shot for you, da-da-da. And then they say yes and everyone's happy.
So what's the story behind the planting drugs proposal?
Yeah, so...
That's a good one.
Yeah, we've done a few like this, not drug related, but
like kidnapping
prank related.
Right,
but he just said their relationship's based on pranks. So anyway, I think he came up with the idea of the drug arrest. I don't think that came into my mind, but I was up for it. So we planted oregano in her pocket without her knowing, and then we had fake police come over to her and quite aggressively was just like, we know you've just been sold drugs, you need to come with us now, we're going to arrest you, like, we've got it all on tape. They manhandle her into a car which has got a GoPro in it, and she's crying. They're like, you're never going back, we're in Barcelona, you're never going back to America, we know you've been sold these drugs, now get out now, and there's going to be a lineup and you tell us who sold you those drugs. So she's crying. Anyway, she gets out. He's standing there in the middle of the lineup with Barcelona view behind, gets down on one knee, proposes, and she's like, oh, you got me. What a brilliant proposal.
Oh, she was as happy as Larry.
She loved it.
Oh my God. I couldn't expect that response.
My missus would be
distraught.
No, I think she'd say no just out of the experience. No, that is...
But that's when you realise people are different. I mean, we did a flash mob with 40 dancers in the middle of Covent Garden. There must have been about 1,500 people watching. And he was like, yeah, I love to dance. I'm an amazing dancer. And she'll love getting involved in everything. And anyway, so he came into the flash mob, started dancing. Confetti went up. Her friends push her out. He gets down on one knee, proposes. She says yes. Then she runs off. And then we run after her, like, are you okay? And she's like, I just hate doing anything in public. I'm so shy. Like, that's just not what I would have wanted. But knowing him, that's what he would have wanted, but not what but she obviously loved it because she came to work for us for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she obviously loved it, what we did, but it wasn't for her. And then that's why now when we question these people, we just say like, what would they want? It's not just about you. It's about you as a couple. Like this is your one time, your one shot. You're not going to do it again, hopefully. So get it right.
What's kind of the biggest challenge then that you've had with this role?
What's the biggest challenge? I think it's just growing. Like the more you grow, the more staff you need, the more work you do. And from my job was initially coming up with the ideas, which I really loved. I love brainstorming and coming up with different ideas and presenting it to the client. And now that's not my job anymore. My job is like HR, finance, all the stuff I don't actually want to do or really enjoy. So that's a big challenge for me because that's not natural to me. Like I'm a creative, I'm not a finance person. So I find that really quite difficult. In terms of challenges of the proposals, well, we're just going to different countries. So it's things like someone will say, I want a proposal in Iceland. Well, if we haven't done one in Iceland before, we don't know anything about it. So it's like researching new companies, new suppliers. And the biggest challenge is saying, okay, I want to use you as a photographer or videographer in Iceland. We don't know you. We don't know if you're good. We don't know if you're just going to take our money. We can't see any reviews, but we need somebody. So it's like putting your trust in these suppliers that you don't know. That's a really big challenge and it's quite scary. And luckily, touch wood, everything's been fine so far. But yeah, you've really got to do your due diligence.
Yeah, you've got to be really careful, haven't you? Because it's such a... You got one shot, like you say.
Yeah.
So how does that affect sort of personal relationships then with a lot of travelling? And I imagine demanding clients, last-minute requests. You've got to be hands-on. People probably still sort of paying for you.
Yeah.
As well to be doing it as the brand.
Yeah.
So how does that affect you?
Well, yeah, massively, to be honest with you. Well, with the proposers, it's got to a point now where we've got 7 staff. So unless it's a huge budget or a celebrity or a high net worth or something, then I'm not involved in the day-to-day running of the proposers anymore, which has been great because I used to go to all the proposals on a Saturday night. And that was not good on my relationship. But I didn't have kids then, so it wasn't so bad. And I was building the brand, and you just got to do it. And I worked every single weekend for absolutely years by myself before I even had a team. But now, obviously, with Daisy Amodio events, it's ultra high net worth clients. The business is my name. They expect me to be there.
100%.
At every single meeting. And it's quite difficult because people think my job's so glamorous and I'm like in Lake Como all the time doing these amazing jobs. But what they don't see is I have to go out for the recce with the client, maybe once or twice. I have to go out for the food tasting and to meet clients. And then on the event, it's 4 or 5 days of events. It's 20 hours minimum every single day. And it is grueling. And
Sounds
it's
much
tough.
more glamorous
than
when you're actually working there and it's hot.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be working because it's hot. You want to be sat there with an Aperol Spritz, but you can't because you're there making sure this looks great and that's in the right place and they're not going to walk through the shot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You must be...
Well, I don't think I even saw an Aperol Spritz last time. In fact, it was so hot and I'd been running around for hours, I was actually sick in a bush from exhaustion,
So it's intense.
You don't see that stuff. Yeah.
So how did life change then? You mentioned you got children now. So running the business, having children, how did that affect?
It's a hard one because I don't know, like... I've got 2 small children. So one is 3, one is 7. So it's still very much like one is still at nursery. So it's a lot of back and forth. And I think when you have children, you kind of lose your independence. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, but like now I have to like email, text, phone my husband if something's happening in the day to say, right, I need to go out on Tuesday night because I have a networking event or I need to do that. But he kind of resents me a little bit for having to do that. His job's like 9 till 5 in the city. He knows when he's going to be somewhere. But my job isn't 9 till 5 and I have to travel a lot. So it's kind of like, well, then he has to put the kids to bed. He has to get them ready. And like I'm in Mallorca for a massive job in May and I'm away for 5 days and it's half term. So that did not go down very well. And what happens is he's just had 5 days with them and then I get back and I'm absolutely exhausted. And he'll be like, here's the kids. Yeah. So I don't get a day. So I'm either working or I'm working or I'm with kids. Yeah.
Do you feel it sort of changed your like view of what's important and what work-life balance, if you have any, means to you now?
Yeah, I definitely have work-life balance. Like before, when it was just me and the proposers, I was working all the time, like every weekend, and I was missing out on events with my friends and things like that. But I don't do that. Isn't me anymore.
Okay.
And with Daisy Amodio events, I only take on 2 or 3 a year.
Sure.
So if I'm going out for site visits and stuff, I'll fly there and fly back in a day, which is grueling for me, but it means it doesn't affect the children. And then, I'm not away, like, in terms of the events, I'm there for the event. I don't get to enjoy it. Where the other staff, they stay on. So they're like, they get to rest. They'll stay on for a couple of days in Lake Como afterwards.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're back 6 a.m. flight because I've got kids. And there's nothing I can do about that. So.
But it's good that you've got that balance now.
Yeah.
How long did that take you to actually get to the point where you could get some balance? Because I imagine early stages there wasn't such thing as balance.
No, I mean, I took the babies to work. Yeah.
Wow. So quite recently then.
No, they'd come to work with me, and then I remember doing an event at the Ritz, and then one of them was running and knocked all the candles over and the wax went on the carpet, and then they were livid with me for the wax on the carpet, and then we're trying to scrub it off, and it's like vintage, so, I mean, they don't come, it's not often they come, but even half-term last week, and I had nothing to do with one of them. So I was like, you're going to have to come to work with me. So I took him on HMS Belfast at lunchtime.
Oh, nice.
So I made it work.
Yeah.
And he did his homework, and the team played with him and stuff. But yeah, it's not ideal, and I don't get to work that much. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me, the biggest challenge really, is having to leave work all the time. Like at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. No, actually, I'm making that up. 4:45, I have to be on a train going back to get them in time. 4:45 to me seems like, God, I'm having my lunch sometimes at that point. Yeah. But that's early to me. I don't want to leave at that time. No. And like my team is still there and we're getting shit done. So it's like, why do I want to leave them? But I have to. And I have to be like looking at my clock all the time, because if I miss that train, I'm not getting them. So, and that's the most important thing, right? So that just weekly juggle I find quite hard.
Yeah, it's something I think, a lot of business founders and owners have to go through, but it's definitely something that really does take its toll in a good way. Like, you want to have a family, it's an amazing part of your life, and it's, the start of your event is basically the start of a lot of people's families, right? So it's a key part of life.
Yeah.
But it is nice to hear people actually, you juggle. It's not plain sailing.
No, definitely not.
So...
Well, I'd love to find out a little bit more as well about TV, because it's obviously not your first rodeo with the Channel 4 series that's out at the moment. Yeah. But can you tell us, was there kind of a turning point when that happened in terms of how much exposure you had for the business and what happened when you sort of first got onto TV?
So I got my first TV show probably 2 years after launching the business, and that was on Sky Lifetime, and it's 8 episodes all about the business. And it was on Sky, and it got. I think they sold it to like 12 different countries around the world. But actually, the countries it went to were places like Ecuador and I'm not saying it's a random country, but I don't know it very well. And everyone that was coming to us to inquire didn't have any money, didn't have the budget for what we were doing, and we weren't really doing proposals over there at that point. It was very much European based.
Sure.
So that didn't really do that well for us. And I said, I'm not really going to do another TV show because it takes a long time. 10 years later, we've probably had about 100 production companies ask us to do another TV show, but I always said no, because I just want to focus on the business. I don't want to be a TV superstar. I'm with a family and stuff. I don't have time for that, and I just want to work on the business. So we just said no, and then Channel 4 came. Well, actually, it was between Channel 4 and BBC. They both kind of emailed the same month. Had meetings with both of them, and then I thought Channel 4 was a better audience. So it was actually supposed to be on Channel 4, but it ended up being on E4. So they changed the game halfway through, which I didn't really like.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, they said it would be a better audience. So we filmed it. It was an hour episode, 3 episodes. And it was really lovely clients. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
it's funny. It's funny and it's emotional. You can still watch it now on Channel 4 website. Did it get us any inquiries? And did it our website stats go up? Did anything happen? No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how time consuming is it? Because everyone goes, they're on TV, they must be flying. This must be making them a fortune. How time consuming is it? And would you do it again?
No.
No.
Never say never. If Netflix came, maybe. I'll tell you why. The thing when you've got a national network like that, there's so many rules and regulations. And I did know that going into it, but I thought our logo, a bit more about us would be in it. But because you can't be seen to promoting like one business, and it was literally about our business, like we would have notepads with our logo on it. We'd have T-shirts with our logo. They would literally turn it over so you couldn't see the logo because they don't want to get in trouble for misrepresenting. Like they basically couldn't do it. And I knew that going into it, but it just, you sometimes in those episodes, you couldn't even know it was the proposers. So then you would type in the proposal company and another company would come up.
Yeah, so that's like backfiring. Right?
Yeah, so look, we spent a long time doing it and like it's fun.
Yeah.
It is good fun, I will say that. And the team are amazing. My team are amazing. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. But it does take a long time, which meant the team weren't working because they were so excited about doing the show, which then meant we weren't doing as much work. So actually it was really like detrimental to the business. And then we got excited when it came out, but then we didn't really make many inquiries from it. So because the truth is like with proposals, it's you've got to spend money on it for what we do. We're planning it, and then you're going to want 3 or 4 different suppliers. So we have proposals from £1,000, but the average people spend is £2,500. Is like quite a low budget proposal, but that's a lot of money for some people.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So the audience that are watching those sort of things aren't going to be spending that because then you've got to spend £2,500 on the ring as well. So it's a lot of money. So maybe that wasn't our audience, but we had a great time doing it.
Yeah, and it's a good life experience as well. Getting on TV, I imagine that was quite interesting to do. But what you obviously just touched on your team there. How important has building your team been, and kind of where do you see that where do you see your team in the next couple of years? What's the plan with that?
Yeah, it's really hard to build a team, but when you get a good bunch of people, then you know then you're smashing it basically. And the group that I've got at the moment, like they all absolutely love each other. Everyone really gets on. We go out a lot, and they all collaborate together all the time. And everyone just knows what they're doing now. So now it's like really smooth, but it hasn't been smooth. You know, we've been in business for 13 years. There's been so many ups and downs with staff. I had to fire one person once and it was horrific. And I had once I fired somebody.
You've done all right.
Yeah.
You've done all right.
I've had to let a couple of people go, but in a really nice way. But it's so hard and I don't want to do that. And I hate that stuff. But sometimes you just got to make a decision and go with it for the business. It's not a personal thing.
And when you fired that person, was it something that you should have done sooner and wish you'd done sooner, but you'd kicked the can down the road, trying to be a nice person, when actually, business-wise, the nicest thing to do is cut it off? Was that scenario?
Yeah, and I knew I should have done it ages ago, but I didn't have the confidence.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be mean, but then it got so bad that in the end I had to just lock her out of her email account and then say, can I have a word with you outside? Because I just knew that she would just try and take loads of stuff or damage the business in some way. So I had to just lock her out of everything. And she just looked at me and she went, you've just locked me out of my account in front of everyone. And I was like, yeah, can we go outside, please? And then I just had to have this conversation, which I didn't want to do. And then she left.
I think it's more common than you think. So obviously I work in an industry where the burn rate's a little bit higher and you do have to let people go. But even then, you know, we're trying to build a nice business. We're trying to build a business with a proper, like a hard working culture, but a place people want to be. So letting people go is not a nice thing. And, you know, you go in and your heart's racing and you know, you're taught, be very HR, this is what we're doing, this is what's happening, you're on garden leave, HR's going to come in, get your passwords, and then we're going to walk you out this door. That's as blunt as it is. Yeah. But you spent a year, 18 months with this person. You probably had some good times. You might have thought, why did they do that? Or maybe they're not doing so well. But it's not a nice thing. And that person's got bills. They've got things to pay for. And at the end of the day, they're going to go home and wonder what they're going to do going forward. But I've never let go of someone and not wished we'd done it sooner. And the fastest I've ever done it, I think, is about 8 weeks. And it's the best decision I ever made. And I'll live by that. If your gut is get rid of someone, get rid of someone. If your gut is they're a good person, then do everything you can to keep that person and help them. If it's a skill issue, you can train that. But if it's attitude, you're not going to out-train a bad attitude.
But then you had to work with them for another 8 weeks.
Oh, garden leave.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yeah, out the office. Yeah. Straight away.
No, because it's really hard. And then
also, you've got sensitive information. You've got high net worth clients that probably don't want their... Imagine that, you can leak a name. So you've got to be really careful.
Yeah. It's tricky.
It's a big thing.
And also when you're working a small team, like it affects everybody in the team.
Yeah, and it brings them down.
Yeah.
And actually cutting that person loose allows the other people to flourish. And I think that was one of the biggest learnings I've had is you have to think for the other 95% of your business is if this 5% of the business is pulling someone back, then the kindest thing to the majority is to get rid of that person.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
And the quicker you do it, I think the better, and the quicker you'll grow.
Yeah, I
But
totally
it's
agree.
not a nice thing.
No.
And it will. I think when it stops feeling personal, then you probably have to look at yourself and wonder what's going on there, because you should feel a bit of pain, I think, when you do it.
Oh, God, yeah. That's horrible.
So
It's obviously not easy, is it? Running sort of teams and running businesses like ours. What's kind of your why? Why do you why do you get up in the morning and still kind of feel motivated to come into work and do it? What's
I quite often think sometimes when things are going wrong, like, God, I would be able to get an amazing job. If I packed it all in right now, I am very high. I've done some amazing stuff. I reckon I would get an awesome job. And then I think, but why would I want to work for somebody else? Like, I can work my own hours. I get to work with some incredible people. I get to travel the world. I have a great team. And every single year, things get better and better and better. And it's like, what is the opportunities that are coming up? I don't even know, because it's just exciting. And do you get that when you work for someone else? I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same.
No.
I take my employees on a journey with me and they get to do everything I'm doing. Their CVs are racking up with amazing things. I mean, how many people get to say they planned a royal wedding? Not many people in the world, but that's on their CV, and I'll take them with me. But I've been doing this so long now, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And I can't wait to get up and go to work on Monday. Literally can't.
that's what it's about, isn't it? So
Yeah.
tell us, royal wedding. Can you tell us a
Yeah.
bit more?
I can tell you, I did one.
Okay.
I can't tell you who, but
Any
basically,
details?
I can tell you how I got it.
Sure.
And it's the power of networking. And it's like, I'm not the sort of wedding event planner that's going to be listed on all these websites and you're going to see loads of stuff about me on Instagram, and I don't promote myself anywhere because it's all about recommendations. So I either get my wedding through the proposer's clients or I get it through recommendations in a network. And this prince happened to be on a yacht in Italy, and he said to the captain, do you know any good wedding planners? He'd just got engaged. I hadn't done his proposal and I didn't know really of him that well. And he was like, I don't, but I know a travel agent that might know some wedding planners in London. Anyway, she sent a list through and I was number 1 of 10 planners that she'd written down. And I'm pretty sure I had COVID. I was really, really sick. I was so ill. And no normal person would have gone to this meeting if they were that ill.
Yeah.
But I knew in my gut it was something about this person. So I went and I met this guy and he was like, right, I can put you in front of these people, but I just want to vet you out first, asking me lots of questions. And he liked me. And the next day I went and I pitched to this client. I had to sign an NDA and I had no idea what these words were at the top. Like, I had never seen these names before. Now I'm just like, wow. Went in, shook their hand, and just wowed them. And I made them laugh. And it was all about likability,
Yeah.
your
Being a real
personality.
person.
Yeah, I backed it up with my work, but I made them laugh and I made them feel comfortable. And next week I got the job. So I was like, okay, well, how do you plan a royal wedding? And it was in Lake Como and it was over 4 days and the security was absolutely insane. We had I'll never forget, the guests were about to come in and there was this one guy in an army outfit with a bag in front of him. I was like, why are you standing there? It looks quite ugly. And the guests are all about to arrive. And he's like, I have to stand here. I've got all the guns, grenades and bullets on me. I was like, yeah, right. Show me. Opens up his bag and he's literally full of guns and bullets. I'm like, okay, maybe put that back and go somewhere else. But he's like, I have to stand somewhere. I was like, okay, can you just hide behind the tree? And he did. I was just like, but yeah, the whole level of security was very different for me from what, I've done high net worth weddings where we had a lot of security and we couldn't have phones and we couldn't do this, but this was another level and it was interesting to see. The couple were actually the most amazing couple I think I've ever worked with. They were so humble and lovely. And we just got on so well to the point that they hired me again for one of their mum's birthdays, which just happened a couple of weeks ago. So
what a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Building up the sort of life CV portfolio.
yeah.
So COVID then you mentioned. How did that affect things?
Yeah, so...
Must have made it difficult.
Well, luckily...
Or maybe creative.
Yeah. Well, luckily I had the proposers, and quite often throughout COVID, you could do things with two people, and if they live together, which most people do these days. So we still had some money coming in, and I had a lot of money saved from a huge wedding I did. It was almost like 15 million pound in the UK, and I'd saved that money.
£15 million wedding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we had Ed
I thought £1 million
Sheeran sing.
proposal was big.
No. And it was like that's one of my first big weddings, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd done their proposal, which was incredible, and then they asked me to plan their wedding, and we had Ed Sheeran sing, Jennifer Hudson and Katy Perry at the event, and I'll never forget it because it was the most amazing time. It was stressful. I learned a hell of a lot, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and then that obviously launched me into another world where I started to get more ultra high net worth clients and stuff. So I'll always be grateful for that event. I'll never forget it.
Costing that up and going, this is what this is going to cost. How did part of you think they're never going to go for this, or almost how am I delivering this invoice to someone? Because that is a hell of a lot of money for a day.
Yeah, well, it's 4 days, but
yeah, but still, that is.
Yeah, but it doesn't start like that. So people that are very wealthy, they don't necessarily have a budget.
Sure.
And I've come from a very normal background, and I'd never bought designer things. Like, I'd never seen these 5-star hotels. I'd never been in that world. So until I started doing these proposals and they started to get higher and higher budgets, and then I started to see the wealth come through, that's when I started to learn about what these people like. And then I could put myself in their world. So I've learned that over time. And there was not necessarily a budget. It just spiraled out of control. And I just kept coming with ideas, and all the suppliers kept coming with ideas, and before you know it, that's what you've got. And it was very beautiful and very classy. But obviously the main money went on the singers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And did you have connections in that world before this wedding in terms of getting the singers, or was that almost another learning curve for you?
Well, that was their world. It was their world. So it was very easy to get.
Right.
But since then, I've made connections, and I hired Katy Perry for the royal wedding again. So we had those connections, and hired Craig David for an event in I don't want to say, just in case. I have to think about that then. But yeah, we've hired lots of celebrities. I've even hired Arnold Schwarzenegger, so yeah, that was an interesting one.
That's such a good list.
What did he do? I'll be back.
I'll be back. Did he say that? I think he did. Yeah, and he was like at a desk and he went like that, and then all the photo frames behind him like fell down, and that was for a proposal because she was like a weightlifter, and
that is great.
You couldn't really have anybody better for something like that.
But he was like 80 grand to just do a little piece to phone.
I'm not surprised, to be fair. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really exciting to hire these people, but obviously that comes with a lot of work. They bring their riders and all their team, and actually it's a lot. It's a lot.
Can you tell us a little bit about kind of one of the next big ones that you're planning?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've got an event in Mallorca in May, and it's 5 days, and it's actually for a 60th. I'm just wondering when this comes out.
Probably a month.
Okay, we should be all right then.
So yeah, it should probably be
we'll wait till this event happens, because I don't want any. I mean, I'm sure they're not following me, the guests from this from this party. But anyway, so it was much about, because it's his 60th. It's much about quality as opposed to having like Katy Perry perform. It's about food and drink.
Sure.
And so we have 3 very famous chefs being flown out to cook for them every night. We've got a huge drone show. We've got an amazing private villa for the whole time. Lots is happening, but I'm excited. It's been a year and a half we've been working on it, so finally getting to go.
Mallorca's stunning, isn't it? Like, you've done quite a bit of work, weddings in Mallorca.
Yeah, it's kind of the place to be, because it's hot, but I've never found it to be too hot. But also, the food's incredible everywhere you go. It's such a nice place to be.
And it's getting more and more 5-star venues. Like the Four Seasons opened. It's got some insane places. But we actually found a new hotel from Richard Branson And it's a really lovely story. He was young, he used to go to Mallorca every year with his parents, and he always used to see this kind of derelict monastery, and no one lived there. And so for 25 years he tried to buy it, and the government kept saying, no, we're not selling to you. In the end, they let him have it, and he's redone it, and it's absolutely incredible place. And we've hired that completely exclusive to this client, which they don't really do. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting,
That's unbelievable.
very creative job. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of policy out in Mallorca, I think. Like, in terms of the drone show and stuff, did you have to get sign off from local councils and what have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to get sign off before.
That was awful. Having to get the when I was trying to fly drones when I was in Mallorca, trying to get the approvals to fly from the Mallorca government, but then it wasn't enough because it was over like a protected piece of land, and then had to go to the Spanish government on top. It was,
And did you get it in the end?
Yeah. Good. But a lot of pushing and a lot of emails. But you do get it if you if you.
Well, we've
if you keep on
been
talking about
I mean, they just never reply to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, it was about 6 months of back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never easy as that.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Yeah.
So with all of this going on and being super busy all the time, what is your escape from work?
TikTok.
Okay.
I know that sounds really random, but I can't wait to get into bed and have half an hour of TikTok. And the reason why is because I have no friends on TikTok. I'm not having to put anything up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not following anyone in particular, but the feed is things that I like, and it's enjoyable things, and it just kind of zones me out. And it's not about work, it's not about friends or family, it's just about me and what I like. And that is my little safe thing. And then having a bath by myself. Basically, any time I could be by myself.
Fine.
Is my thing.
See, I don't think I could limit myself to 30 minutes on TikTok. I had to delete the app. I just couldn't. I'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd have a really important meeting in the morning. I was like, this guy's like digging a well. This will be cool to watch. He's right in the bottom of TikTok's algorithm. But yeah, if you can switch off, it's good.
I have to be, so basically at 11 o'clock my phone turns off, so I can't watch it any longer.
Oh, you got the...
No, I did. Okay. I have to do that because I have to be in bed by 11 because I'm rudely awoken every single day at like between 6 and 7 for the last 7 years. So if I'm not in bed by 11, then I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee the next day.
And we're obviously in the Shard at the moment. This is where your office is. How long have you been
4.5 years. So during COVID, we had an office in Soho, and they wanted us to renew their contract in the middle of COVID. And I was like, no, we're not going to pay you because I don't even know what's going on in the world. And then I started doing a lot of partnerships here at the Shangri-La at the Shard. Yeah. And this is obviously a very popular place to propose. It's kind of like the Eiffel Tower of London. Yeah. But it's better than the Eiffel Tower. You've got 5-star service. You can stay here. You can eat incredible food. And there's not going to be a million people around you also proposing. So we established a really amazing partnership with them, and we do a lot of different things for them. And we've been on a lot of their TV shows as well because people want to see the happiness in that. We've done things for the kids and things. So it's not just proposals here. It's anything that you celebrate, birthday, date night, anniversary. So we're fully cemented in this building, and we love it.
I saw an advert when I came in, and it made me think, has anyone ever been busted, like gone, you're going to propose, aren't you? And like caught it early?
Yeah, not that I know of.
No, just played it cool.
Yeah, they've just played it cool. Because the thing is about proposals is you still don't know. Unless you've actually physically seen an email that says, you're proposing on this date, like, you don't know.
No. So you try and keep it you obviously keep it a secret.
Yeah, we keep it a secret. We have to quite often act in it. So I've been a pirate, I've been a librarian, I've been a bus conductor, I've been a waitress, I've been everything. Because you don't want anyone to start twigging, and some things are a bit weird. Like you might walk a weird way, and they'll be like, "Why are you taking me this way?" So you have to be a bit of an actress to like play the game. And then once that door opens and they see the wow factor, it's all over anyway. But it's that couple of minutes where you just need to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning for those couple of minutes.
Yeah,
it's a lot to get involved in. Going to move on to the rapid fire round.
First things first. What's the first thing that you do in the morning?
Sorry, I know it's supposed to be rapid fire. I was like, what do I do? Look at my phone.
Yeah, don't we all? What keeps you driven?
Gaining new clients.
One word to describe your journey so far?
Challenging.
Favourite failure that set you up for success?
Getting rid of an old business partner that was bad news.
Yeah. One tool that you can't live without?
Canva.
Yeah, good one. What's your favourite thing about your job?
Making people happy.
If your future family listens to this, what's one thing you'd like them to sort of take away from it?
I hope that I inspire them every day. Maybe they'll take on my businesses.
Amazing. That's it.
You mentioned a business partner that went wrong. Can you elaborate on that in a little bit more detail?
I don't know, because I've never actually ever spoken about it in 12 years.
Was it a work wasn't going well, or was it a personal, I don't want to work with this person?
They were just not nice people, not a nice person.
Okay.
And they just didn't want to work. And I obviously wanted to work. You can tell what I'm like. I'm very determined. I really want to go for it, and they just didn't. And there was lots of things that spiraled out of control, and it wasn't a great time. And they've gone. But that was a horrible period of my life. And I was getting married at that time. And then I had to go and get another job because I couldn't be doing this at the time because we had lawyers involved. And it was just hell on earth, to be honest with you. But I learned a lot from it, and I wouldn't do that again. So
it's hard, isn't it? Because I think we're both in a position where we also have people that we work with and people that also we want to be involved heavily with the business. It is hard bringing in the right people.
Yeah.
But I think the three of us are all very much so heavily focused on our work that if you hire the wrong person, or you have the sort of the wrong person as a shareholder or whatever it might be, it's so hard to have them work the same amount that you do and have the same determination and the same drive. You know, if they don't, then it just doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't work. And I've had 3 or 4 people try to buy into the business over the years, and I've always just said no. No matter how amazing they are, I just want to do this by myself, and I've got this far. And a lot of businesses don't succeed for that long, and yet I'm still plugging away and I'm still achieving new things every year. So I don't need them.
And how do you find staff when you're building your team?
I just put it on Instagram.
Okay, you just get direct applicants.
I get loads of
And do
people.
you look for people with events background, or would you look at someone and think, oh, they've got something about them, and give them a shot? How does that work?
They don't need to have events background because we train them, because obviously you don't go to event school to learn about proposals.
Sure.
So it's very much like they're much smaller events. So we work sometimes with some event academies that send us some interns, and then if the interns are amazing, we make them employees.
Okay.
Otherwise, we put it on Instagram to say we're looking for X person, or we just go through all the people that have emailed us recently.
Okay. And
So-
is that your inbox always full to the top? How do you filter out?
Yeah, there's always people looking for jobs, but more so now people are looking to work with Daisy Amodio events because there's some sexy events that are happening, and it's more like word of mouth in the industry.
Okay.
So we're getting more people like that. But I have a team, so I find I struggle to I don't need to employ loads of people because I already
Sure.
have a team, and the guys at the proposers really want to work on Daisy Amodio events because then they're doing 2 really different things. I had a girl that started probably 6 months ago, and already she's worked on a royal event. She's going to work on a Hollywood celebrity proposal in Paris next week. She's flown across the world already. So she's
Living
just
the life.
her CV is racking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say you look for 3 key traits in a good events proposals planner?
Yeah.
For high net worth.
For high net worth. Well, I mean, they've obviously got to be super organised. They've got to have attention to detail. So they need to be creative, and they need to be able to write and pull pictures in an elegant way. It's all very because I want to be able to I talk to the client, and so I get their brief, and then I need to be able to brief my team, and then them come back with the right research. But if they're coming back with mediocre, cheaper things, it's not going to work out. So you have to have an eye for detail, and not everybody has that.
Yeah, I think it's you develop that eye for spotting talent, don't you, over the time?
Yeah, but personality is the biggest thing, if I'm honest with you, because we're such a small team. We all have to get on. And if we don't get on, it's just not going to work out. So,
no, of course.
Yeah.
I think it's
but we have a 3-step process anyway, because it might be I really like your personality. We're going to get on really well, but it's not like I'm going to go for a glass of wine with you every night and have a giggle. We need to work. So then we need to see their writing and their creativity. So we do ask them to come up with an idea.
Okay.
So then they can pitch that back to us. And then they'll meet the team, and then they might get the job.
Okay, brilliant. And if you were sort of a prospective client looking to propose or launch, run an event with yourself, how can people get in touch with you?
So if they're looking for a proposal, then it's the proposers, at the proposers everywhere.
Okay.
On everything, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah.
And then Daisy Amodio events, we don't promote it everywhere because half of our work is NDA, so we can't really ever show our work, but you come through to me directly. Daisy Amodio. That's it.
Must be hard, actually, find being able to do such amazing events, but never necessarily been able to share it and talk about.
It's the most gutting thing about my business because I do the most insane stuff and I want to be able to show people. I'm really proud of it. And even like 2 years after the event, I might go back to the client and say, hey, can I just have 3 pictures and you don't need to be in it, just of the flowers and stuff. And it's a hard no.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Cool.